Welcome back to the 2023 World Series of Poker. We are down to the final table in the $800 No Limit Hold'em Deep Stack, and we were about to find out who will turn that small investment into $339,000. My name is Rem Brinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me as we will bring you coverage of this final table until we get a winner. Donnie, there's some new faces, there's some great new storylines developing here as someone is turning $800 into, like I said, $339,000. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, absolutely massive field. Almost 4,000 entries. Now we're down to this final 8 here. We got a former military member. We got a poker player. We got a trial lawyer. You know, we'll go around the table as we go, but you know, we'll get to know these players because, you know, not to take anything, you know, away from these players, but not the biggest names in the game just yet, but one of them will be winning a gold bracelet, adding it to their collection, to their trophy case.
Exactly, and we're wasting absolutely no time diving into the action here. The blinds are 500K, 1 million, and you can see the chip guns there at the top of your screen. We'll go through these players as we go. CJ Johnson here with the King 7 offsuit. We got
probably the most known player at the table, former winner of the WSB Circuit Cherokee main event. Back in 2017, he won $272,000 for that win.
Action folding around to Ciccarelli. Is that how I say it, Donnie? Ciccarelli?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Correct me in the chat if I'm off on that, but I'm going to go with Ciccarelli for now. He's found pocket queens here in the small blind.
Limps in.
All right, we're going to see a flop here.
I like it. Ciccarelli could be having some of that baby run good that you see in poker because his first son is due in September.
Wow. So we got to root for him.
Listen, as a relatively new dad myself, diapers are effing expensive, okay?
I believe it right away. Representing the Phoenix Suns, not only with his hoodie, but also with his hat. Love to see it when someone is that committed.
1.5 bet.
Ciccarelli going up against Kong Chu. He's gonna check call here with the queens. He's got a lock on this hand unless he folds. By the way, Donnie, we got beautiful chips in play once again at this final table. It's awesome to see those high denomination chips being thrown around. I believe those are worth 500K a piece.
Yeah, and I was told this is the first time they've been broken out all summer long.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. Look at this, Donnie. Chu is going to put out a bet of 4 million, applying some pressure on Ciccarelli, who was trying to play it slow from the small blind, but perhaps backfiring here a little bit.
Yeah, Zhu there, you know, he obviously realizes he can't win this hand without betting. Good recognition from him, and we'll see if Ciccarelli is able to sniff this one out and get the job done, make the call, but certainly not easy. Probably, you know, kicking himself a little bit under the table for not raising pre-flop.
Of course, easy for us to say, just call, but we all know there is insane money on the line here. The final 8 guaranteed $42,000, 339K up top for the winner. Ciccarelli has 15.8 million in front of him at this point.
I think you have to call here.
Of course, Chu not representing any strength before the flop. The flop also went check, check, so hard to give him credit for. There it is, makes the call. Shows the queens, and Donnie, I was saying a few seconds ago, maybe regretting not raising. Now, he played it perfectly, got the most value possible.
He did play it perfectly. You know, not the easiest of calls on the river, but Ciccarelli certainly strong to the test. Gets it done there. Zhu already had one deep run earlier in this World Series of Poker, coming 9th in the $2,500 freeze-out tournament. He took home 34K for that one. He also cashed in the secret bounty. That was a 10K buy-in. And now we find him here at this final table.
All right, we are 5 minutes into the stream, and I have not even addressed everyone watching. Much love to everyone in the chat right now. Please let us know where you're watching from. What are you enjoying? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe a little beverage. I'm having a salad. Donnie just ate literally a cart full of fruit. It was impressive to watch. I think I saw him eat pineapple, melon. Maybe there was some bananas involved there.
No bananas.
Either way, we are having a good time. We've been waiting for this final table all day. And Donnie, you have to put into perspective how insanely absurd the bust-out rate was today in this event.
Yeah, they came back with a couple hundred players. You know, in the first half hour to 40 minutes, 50 were out the door. First hour, 100 were out the door, and it's been flying ever since. Obviously, you know, you get down to the final 3 tables, final 2 tables, the money jumps are greater. Reaching that final table is much closer. So the players obviously have that on their minds. They know the ultimate goal, get to this final table, then go on to win the bracelet. So play did slow down a little bit, but the stacks aren't the deepest as you see in these lower buy-in events, you know, so the play tends to pick up a bit.
And Oren Rosen here trying to make a decision with 10-8, so it seems. Or is he in the big blind here? No, Rosen is all in for 4 million. That is only 4 big blinds. Cheng looks down at ace-jack offsuit, might get him involved here.
$4 million and 50.
4,050,000.
4,050,000. Like I said, only 4 big blinds.
4,000,005. What is it?
4 million.
Okay.
3 million. 4 million.
50,000.
I think the man just said all in,
We
right?
said all in. And we got a call. All in. All in.
Got an all-in move here from Cheng, applying the pressure. He is our final table chip leader right now, isolating Rosen with his shove. Donnie, Rosen probably happy to get it all in heads up.
Yeah, of course. And Cheng, you know, got that chip lead. He busted Donna Stutz in 9th place. He had aces. She had ace-king. He held there to pick up some extra chips.
And what do you do if you're Smith here?
It's good.
I think you have to fold. I mean, it's not... I think generally these players are shoving probably closer to tight than they are to loose. Now, we can obviously see the cards. We can see that Cheng is behind here, but,
I fold.
you know,
I
I
fold.
think ace-queen off is just fine to put it in the muck here and try and ladder up.
Would you
I would
fold?
not be kind of showing it like that, but...
Oh,
he sees the bad news.
He is a little frustrated that he threw the best hand into the muck, but you can't really blame him for that. ICM, of course, absolutely massive in this event. Pay jumps extremely significant, especially when you relate it back down to the buy-in of this event. Oren Rosen here, all in and at risk, just 4 big blinds up against chip leader Christian Cheng.
10-8, 10-8.
Ace king, I wouldn't even call.
Ace jack, buddy probably fold like ace king.
All right, let's see the flop here. Queen 5-4.
Yeah.
Smith would have flopped top pair.
I just folded ace queen.
He's
Yeah,
telling
I mean,
everyone.
He is telling everyone.
He's telling the whole room that ace queen just went into the muck. Rosen here hoping for a 10, an 8, or perhaps running hearts. Running straight cards still possible as well. Turn card 5 of spades. That's going to kill those backdoor outs. Rosen now down to a 10 or an 8, or he'll be eliminated in 8th place.
And the 10 in the river. And the 10 on the river.
What suit? No, it ain't. No, it
Rosen
ain't.
trying to
Good luck, guys.
will it into existence, but it is the king of hearts on the river. Cheng is going to take this one down. Oren Rosen
I was this
eliminated
close to
in
calling.
8th place. Richie
Hey,
Smith.
I was this close to calling.
Yeah.
I had ace queen.
You got ace queen?
Yeah. Good shove.
See some bottles of wine on the rail. People are having
I mean,
a
to
good time.
celebrate,
Queens.
you know?
You would have did it again.
Yeah. All right.
What's button?
Like I
What is
said,
it,
Rosen
one
collects
of- oh.
$42,000.
You're
Not a
big.
bad
Oh, yeah,
ROI
okay.
on just $800.
How do you just not call? I mean, would that be the right move, just to call?
No, bro.
He should shove. No.
I mean, Chang shoving the ace-jack off ultimately got the job done because it made you fold a better hand. So, you know, I would say that he accomplished that goal. And ace-queen off there, I mean, is a really tough spot. You can obviously fold there. He did ladder up $12,000, so, you know, there are going to be times in poker when you fold the best hand, and that's just the game. Do you really want to take, you know, a decent chip stack at this point up against 2 10s and a flip, 2 jacks, something like that? There are going to be times, you know, you do unblock the king. Maybe he's got the ace-king, so.
Melche from France, king-jack offsuit. Donnie, you've been watching this table play before they got down to the final table. You mentioned that this guy looked as though he's had some experience in this scenario.
Yeah, I thought he was playing pretty well. He did seem to me like the only player willing to put chips in with less than premium holdings. You know, it just seemed like he was kind of doing some bluffing at times, because there were times when he bet and got jammed on and quickly had to throw his hand to the muck, which would tell me that he had absolutely nothing.
Right now, he raises to 3.8 million with 2.4 million behind. Very Steven Chidwick-esque, Donnie.
Yeah, you know, this is what the smartest guys in the world do these days. You know, king jack off here. He's more than likely going to go for it. That said, if it goes like 3 all-ins behind him, maybe he folds and tries to get that money jump. Richie Smith here in the small blind.
I mean, Richie Smith steaming off of folding ace-queen, just 1 hand to go. Clearly wants to get involved here. By the way, if you enjoy our coverage on YouTube, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We love all the support we get out here. And for those that are also PokerGO subscribers, much love to you as well. PokerGO is going to get exclusive coverage of the 50K PPC final table in just 3 days' time. And last night, of course, Donnie, last night, what an epic showdown in that 250K final table. Jeff and Brent on the call. That was iconic stuff. We have plenty more of those high-end final tables to come, which will all be exclusively on PokerGO. Happy to bring you some late-night coverage here of this $800 deep stack final table as Richie Smith just makes the call from the small blind. We're going to see a flop, even though Melche doesn't have much behind.
Yeah. Pull this. Put that back over there.
All of that is his.
Put that back over there. No, it's not. Put that there. Put that back up here.
Okay.
Oh, we got some.
There you go. Now put that over there.
Yeah.
Put that over there. This goes with this. You said there's 4 million. We're all in, right?
No, he's on.
No, he's not.
He's on.
Oh, okay.
You called 3.8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we good?
Melche, the winner of 2 WSOP circuit rings from international events in Rosvedov. A player with over $650,000 in live tournament earnings. A couple, looks like some Eureka Poker Tour win.
All right, let's see a flop here after some disagreements about the chips. Ace 7-3 rolls off the deck. Smith put Melche all in.
Yeah, but this is allowing him to get away from it. No, he's going to make the call.
Oh, he is going to make the call almost right away. King Jack all in here on Ace 7-3. Not looking too hot for the Frenchman. He's going to look for running cards here. He's going to need a lot of help here to survive. Otherwise, we'll quickly be down to the final 7.
That's good.
Queen on the turn is going to give him some outs. 3 outs right now
Just
to
throwing
double
that out
up
there.
for the Frenchman.
Let's go, baby. Red 7.
Let's see the river card. It is the deuce of spades. Melche eliminated in 7th place. He'll collect $54,000 for his efforts. Still a massive score. Obviously, he would have needed a lot of help to get back into the game coming into the final table with a short stack. Richie Smith now, however, up to 2nd place here right now. All right, Donnie, down to 6.
Down to 6, just like that. Richie Smith, 54 years old. Bradenton, Florida is currently where he resides, but he's from Maryland.
Could you save your
Says
last
he's got 5 kids.
5 kids all in?
5 kids all in. Oh, that's not Mr. Smith there, but
Could you save your last 2.5 bigs there in Melche's spot?
you could. I think having the king of clubs though, probably just go for it. I mean, with there being 2 clubs on the board, you have the king of clubs. Is he shoving the club draw there? I wouldn't guess that your opponent would just be shoving in an ace. Smith did there, you know, but I would say if you have an ace there and you flop it out of the small blind, you just want to check and make sure that your opponent puts all their chips in, as opposed to giving them a chance to fold. So it seems like he would be shoving, you know, one of the smaller cards on the board, maybe a flush draw, so then you can take the king jack and go with it. See Johnson here open with the 2 sevens. Makes it 3.4 million.
How much of that?
3.4.
Smith, the 9 deuce offsuit. Donnie stealing a page out of the book of Martin Cabral, asking for a count, doing a bit of a looking around with a very weak hand. Potentially.
Maybe we got a Martin Cabral fan on our hands, you know?
By the way, in the chat, please chime in on what you think of last night's final table. I rewatched it this morning. I had it on in the background. It was unbelievable. The table talk, the tension in the room, of course, the bust-out interviews of the players that were eliminated before Cabral ultimately busted. Just absolutely insane. What a absolute crazy final table that was. I think we'll talk about it for years to come.
I can imagine this goes all in here. I mean, there it is.
Wow. Cheng not wasting any time.
So Johnson, while play was 9-handed on the other table and they were playing down here, I did see him open ace-king off and fold to a 3-bet shove. I'm curious if nope, he does make the call.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Massive coin flip here.
Here we go.
Ace-jack versus sevens. Cheng not backing down. Jason Johnson's tournament life on the line.
And stand-up game.
Johnson
Little fist pump.
is our short stack with 15 big blinds. This is a massive pot for both players, though. Both players standing up. Cheng has his opponent covered by 24 million. Let's see the flop. 10, 4, 9, 2 diamonds. No diamonds for either player. So far, so good for Johnson.
$16,000 pay jump on the line here.
Ooh, that's big money for that $800 buy-in. Turn card. It is the 8 of diamonds.
Hit your jack.
A few more outs here for Cheng, who can now make a straight with a 7. Diamonds, of course, not a factor. Let's see the river card. It is the 8 of clubs. The pair of 7s is going to hold up here. All of a sudden, a
Not really.
big change in the dynamics at this table as Jason Johnson goes from being the short stack to being the chip leader.
Johnson out of Spokane, Washington. A trial lawyer by trade.
I was told once that you're supposed to say Spokane.
Spokane?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not from there, so.
Dylan Lindy.
Thank you for
He was
correcting me.
gonna stop and
Spokane,
go.
Washington.
Dylan Lindy told me, who is from Coeur
He
d'Alene.
was going to stop and go, right? No matter what. And I took the play right away from him, didn't I?
There's a few places in the U.S. that I've been to that have that sort of different pronunciation than how you would say it, like see it. Like Prescott.
Nevada.
Well, Nevada, but also
People say Nevada.
Nevada. Prescott, Arizona. You're supposed to say Prescott.
Nobody's got it.
And
Well, that's like Melbourne.
Right, but there's also Hurricane, Utah, but it's Hurricane.
Only had 2 mil back.
It's a big deal. Like, I got corrected by people.
You're never drawing dead with 3 cards, though. You know what I mean?
Sure, the sweat, you got the sweat on the turn, the queen.
You want to know how I got here? This is. Did I tell you?
No. It's 100s.
Max late. Those are hundreds.
Yeah.
Like
Sit
that.
down.
You're right at the 10.
bought
That's,
10,
yeah.
11, 12.
Guy limps. The blinds were like 40K maybe,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I jammed 3-4 spades. 2 callers. 2 callers.
Yeah, that hand plays
Both have
really well
overpaid.
multi-way.
Both have overpaid.
Oh, perfect.
I flop a flush draw. I turn a 4
Like 8 million.
and I river a 4.
Nice. That's so sick. Triple up first hand.
That's what you need.
First thing I played is I blinded down to 30, 30K. I think that's funny.
Are you guys listening to Richie Smith right now?
Crazy story.
Gets it on with the 4-3 suitor against
I was
two
like,
overpairs
I got
wins
four
early on.
all right. They're like, whatever. And then a
Still
four
I do
taking
like
some
that.
time here to count the chips down and give Jay Johnson his double up.
I don't know.
Is that right?
Johnson said his greatest accomplishment outside of poker is
Didn't know what hit
serving
him.
with his brothers in arms overseas, a tank officer, 4 deployments.
Wow.
30 of those and 3 boots.
Safe to say that nothing will intimidate him at this table.
3?
By the way, if you're just tuning in, this is the final table of the $800 Deep Stack event. If you enjoy the content, please smash that like button. Let's get at least 500 likes on tonight's live stream. We are still chasing our goal of hitting 500,000 YouTube subscribers. You can be part of that journey by hitting that subscribe button. We got daily content from the WSOP. Sometimes we stream, sometimes we have single clips or highlights. We're trying to give you a nice little serving of poker during the WSOP.
Everyone wants to go crazy.
It's hot. It's the lights, man.
Louisville.
Lights. It's hot
Donnie,
in here.
does that count?
Warm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that one of
Get it
the
in there.
Rich Ryan mentions? Louisville.
All right, so you got little blind, big blind.
Louisville.
500.
Good hand, man. I'm getting tired of
All
saying
right,
that shit.
the dealer finally figured it out. We are all
That's
square.
crazy.
We're good to go.
Didn't you call
Jason
ninth?
Johnson, like I said,
Eighth?
from short stack to
You
chip
were in
leader.
like low stack 8 coming to 9-handed, right? You and that lady.
Yeah, it was. So.
No, we hit that 10.
We'll probably see
Oh,
that
that
a
was
few
before.
times at this
Oh, yeah.
table, I would guess. You know,
That was crazy.
the blinds are big in relation to the stack, so
Sick hand.
Yeah, it is.
one double up here or
And
there for these
Johnson.
players. You can go from worst to first very quickly. Likewise, you can also go from first to worst very quickly.
Well, no, I mean,
While one Johnson doubled up, the other Johnson is now the short stack. CJ Johnson, 18 bigs, finds ace-10 off on the button. He's going to raise it up.
we've got a bet. 2.7.
I wish we could see a clock.
Hey, man, Johnson and Johnson.
I can see it.
Okay.
I'm like the only person who can see it.
Johnson and Johnson
We made a
battling.
little bit change.
Or put it right here.
How's
like
your rail
come
going
down.
to root for me if I'm going against it?
But I guess they need something. They
That
gotta shoot
might not work
something
out so well for you.
the table.
Yeah. You would think, right?
Well, at least now they'll tell you what I have now.
Okay, all right.
So poker, now you can see it all.
Jack 9-6 on the flop here. Johnson versus Johnson.
Check.
Beautiful flop for Johnson. Bad flop for Johnson. I had to do that.
Of course.
Johnson's going to bet.
All right.
And Johnson with a quick raise. Wow. Spot on there from Johnson, who lays it down. And Johnson wins the pot. Okay. I had to do that just once.
That much.
I might never get that chance again.
Yeah, buddy.
No slow playing here.
Yeah.
Just 10 million, just like that. Just put it in the middle.
Yeah, I shook his jam.
Pre-flop?
Yeah.
Yeah. The deal's coming up. Have a good time.
Had a
Thank
big
you,
ace.
buddy.
Yeah, it's gone.
A shout out to all our moderators in the chat, everyone who's been supporting us, our YouTube community members, our PokerGo subscribers. It's been one heck of a ride already at this WSOP, and I just realized this morning, Donnie, that we have 28 more days of World Series of Poker action.
Oh, heck yeah.
28 more! Can you believe that? I'm just so pumped.
Still to come, of course, the main event
What is that?
coming up. Starting tomorrow, we're going to have 3 days of coverage across the PokerGo channels of the $50,000 Poker Players Championship. 2 days here on YouTube. Final table over on PokerGo.
That's going to be epic. Just a little insight for everyone who's watching right now. Tomorrow, Donnie and I are going to do coverage of the 50K PPC for free from start to finish on our horseshoe table. We're going to start on a longer delay so we can once again cut out the dinner break, so that's not going to be a long wait for you guys. We're going to start at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern, and do coverage all day of the 50K day 3. They just closed registration, Donnie. I'm sure you can run through some chip counts in a bit, give us some names. Meanwhile, at this table, action on Cheng, who is on the button, and he has ace-jack once again.
All he does is get ace-jack, man.
When you get ace-jack, you should not be holding back. That's what I've been told.
That's right.
Raise. 2,700,000.
2.7 million in the middle. We're playing, by the way, 600K, 1.2 million. No big deal. Daj City in the chat says, in 10 years' time, the WSOP will last 364 days.
Sure, why not?
Let's do it.
I'm for it.
Let's do it. Live every day. Ciccarelli, queen 4 suited in the big blind. He's going to defend. Going to see a flop here. Like we've mentioned, stacks very shallow. Jason Johnson, the chip leader, with 30 bigs. CJ Johnson, the short stack, with 12 bigs.
Yeah, average stack 20.5 big blinds.
Ace 6-6, 2 diamonds on the flop. Top pair for Cheng. Ciccarelli just with a backdoor flush draw, not a whole lot going on. Just imagine traveling to Vegas, taking your shot, playing your $800 buy-in tournament, and then 2 days later you're at a final table with $339,000 up for grabs.
2,200,000.
Hard to fathom, but it is happening here tonight. People are saying it's Ciccarelli. You guys are just
the best.
You guys are just the best, just helping me out here. Ciccarelli folds, and Cheng takes this one down.
Button's red.
Donnie, give me some 50K PPC updates. What do we got?
You got it. Registration closed. 99 entries in this year's event. Looks like they're down to 48, you know, give or take a few there. James Obst is back. He's the chip leader. Johnny Becker, Johannes Becker, is second in chips. Guess who's third in chips? The Terminator himself.
No.
Dan Cates going for an unprecedented, unbelievable third 50K PP title in a row.
That's just absurd.
He is currently third in chips. Long way to go, of course. It's only day 2. It is a 5-day event.
But
so
Kevin Martin is already sweating.
Of course. You have to be sweating. Kevin Martin, of course, made a bet with Dan Cates that Dan Cates wouldn't win the event. I believe if Dan Cates wins, Kevin Martin owes him $65,000. I think that's what I saw on Twitter. And if Dan Cates finishes in any other place but first, he owes Kevin Martin $2,000.
I would never make that bet. That sounds terrifying.
Of course it does.
Action folds over to the chip leader, Jason Johnson. He's going to raise it up with King 7 off.
3,300,000.
Just not a fan of the big raise sizes that we're seeing here. Ciccarelli here, 2 kings. We'll see if he wants to take a line he took a little bit earlier when he had the queens and he played them slow. Had him undisguised. He limped in the small blind against Zhu in the big blind. Here, could see a 3-bet jam coming. Could see a 3-bet to a, you know, some sort of sizing less than all in. I think all options are kind of open here.
Re-raise.
It's going to come with a 3-bet from the small blind. That's going to take care of that one with a quick fold.
I folded. He folded.
But he has to count it for the.
Oh. 8,800,000.
Well, I don't think he actually does have to count it for the for us, but that's okay. We appreciate it anyway. But yeah, average stack right now, 20 big blinds. I would prefer just min raising, maybe 2.1x.
You didn't know a hockey player.
You know, you don't have a lot of playability in your stack, so when you're opening it up there larger on the button like we just saw Jay Johnson do and then quickly folding, you're just risking too much of your chips given what you have. Now, you want to get 40, 50 big blinds deep? Yeah. You know, make it a little bit larger.
So he used to live right by me.
Make it harder for people to defend against you out of the big blind. And This is CJ here under the gun. He's only got 12 big blinds to work with, so he's going to need to make something happen relatively soon.
The fun thing about the structure being as fast as it is, we get to watch a lot of all-ins, and every hand is significant. You know, at the 250K final table, there was lots of like passing around chips, some raising, some calling, a few checkdowns. In this situation, with the pay jumps and the shallow stacks, every single hand matters a ton, and it's only going to add to the enjoyment of us watching this unfold, as we'll probably be here for maybe a couple hours, because with the blinds going up faster than usual and the shallow stacks, you just cannot avoid being at risk.
400,000.
Min raise here on the button from Ciccarelli. He's going to walk into it here because Ju's got the ace-king suited, the drawing hand of all drawing hands.
It's just ace high.
But it's suited.
He moves all in from the small blind. Little check back of the cards for our friend from Phoenix, or sorry, our Phoenix fan. Is he from Phoenix, Donnie? Do we know?
He resides in Arizona now, Chandler, Arizona, but he's originally from Oceanside, New York, is Ciccarelli.
Wow.
9-7.
He also lists himself as a
9-7.
mediocre golfer, which, you know, pretty sure like half the world is.
I feel like everyone who lives in Arizona is a mediocre.
I mean, if you were born in 1997 or 1979, you might go with it.
We're 12-12 now?
Yep.
Which one were you?
Huh?
Which one were you?
What's that, buddy?
97 or 79?
69.
69. All right.
I mean, if you got to go with a number and you're old, why not 69? Right?
Right on.
Are you
Richie
from
Smith explained that you
Phoenix
need to
area?
play the hand of your birth year.
I love the good
Definitely
golf
don't
out
do
there.
that.
Oh, well, I love 7-8 suited.
Me too, man. It's fun. I'm not very good, though.
Your hand is way worse.
And then we can
8-3.
play heads up at golf too.
It's way worse.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
I mean, let's play that game in the chat. Would you play the name of your birth or the hand of your birth year? 8-7 suited. I like it.
Raise 3,200,000.
Richie Smith, by the way, my favorite player at the table right now. He's got good table talk. You can tell he's playing on instinct.
Jay Johnson here coming in with a raise of 8-6 of diamonds. I mean, he's the chip leader and he's not backing down.
All right, I mean, I've been busy.
If you're born in
bro.
the year 2000, that's aces, right?
Might as well be.
I got there's a Chris Kojak. I got a buddy in the hole right now, and I'm trying to help him get out drastically. He's probably watching and not even from home.
What is
He's
going
probably
on here?
drinking wine.
It's right behind you.
In the hole?
He might be behind me.
Drinking wine behind you.
What does that even mean? Like,
How can you?
I mean, how can
I
you
was
have?
sca- I
If he's
was-
referring to jail, how can you have
Very
wine in
upsetting the other
jail?
night to
And how
watch
can you
him
watch
throw a
the
temper
stream?
tantrum.
If you're watching from jail, please subscribe to the channel.
I didn't
Hit
have
that
a
like
light in the
button.
bathroom for 3 days.
Rich Ryan, 88. That's a great year. I feel like if there's a 0 in your birth year, that's an ace. But if it's 01, what are we going to do then? You're just disqualified. You're cheating. In this artificial deck that I just made up, there's no face cards. All right, Johnson raising to 2.4 million. CJ Johnson moving all in with ace-5 suited from the small blind. Cheng finds a very nice hand, but not for this specific situation. Donnie, we're getting some advice in the chat. In the hole meaning he's down money, or he's in a bad spot financially. We're getting translations here on the fly of our table talk. Much appreciated to everyone watching.
But I don't understand, like, what is, if he's down money, what does that matter? Like, I didn't.
Might.
He's in the hole.
Is that green's behind there? Yes, sir.
For Jason Johnson here, Donnie.
You have to call.
You have to call. Yeah, I was going to say, there's no other way.
I made another tight hole.
11. It's a little bit more than 12.
Smith is telling his rail currently he made another tight fold.
These are heavy.
Lowest denomination in play. Blues are 100K, and those red/orange ones are 500,000.
How do you feel about CJ Johnson's shove here from the small blind?
I think it's fine, especially against a player who I'm guessing he's picking up on is on the tighter side. You know, I know we've seen him open some more marginal hands, but if he's tanking here with 2 7s, then I like the shove. He's also down to 10 big blinds. Got to make something happen. If you know, if Jay Johnson's opening hands like King Queen, King Jack, then yeah, get this in.
That's 8. 8. Yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 11, 5. Exactly 12. Johnson. Johnson.
I mean, I'm just here for the Johnson versus Johnson all-in confrontation.
Like Johnson goes against Johnson. Final baby.
Exactly right.
I'm really unsure what this tank is about.
Oh,
I thought that was a call.
What is going on here? That's not legal. How is that legal? Oh, he does make the call. Oh, there we go. Let's see it. 7 versus ace-5 suited.
We need an ace from space. Hey, let's go.
You do.
Let's go.
Or some
Ace
spades.
from space.
Spades from space.
One time.
That was the
He was a short.
pump fake of all pump fakes that we saw just before making the call.
It's been so long, I can't even tell you what I folded.
2 spades on 5.
All right, let's see the flop here as we have CJ Johnson all in. Oh, ace in the window. A 5 and a 6 behind it, Donnie, giving
Pair the board.
Jason Johnson some backdoor draws.
I mean, you pair the board with a 5.
Four
outs.
spades. 4 spades.
Turn 7 of hearts on the turn. Wow. Keep in mind here, CJ flopped 2 pair, so he still has 2 aces as outs, or otherwise he'll be out the door.
$21,000.
Let's see the river card. It is the Jack of Diamonds, and that ends the tournament for CJ Johnson in 6th place. Jason Johnson, fresh off of a double up, now sends a player to the rail and extends his chip lead. CJ Johnson collects $70,000 for his 6th place finish. And the remaining 5, Donnie, guaranteed $91,000. That's insane.
That is insane, all from an $800 buy-in. Coincidentally, Jay Johnson's online poker screen name that he lists, Tanker J.
Tanker J?
Tanker J with the tank pre-flop with the 7s. He is a tank officer
with
4
stop.
deployments.
I'm looking at my chip stack.
Can't make it up.
The
script writers,
I didn't think he had
the AI couldn't come up with a better story. Okay.
This is
Yeah, it's like no action behind. Like, flipping with some chips behind.
I think I'm the only American
Tanker
left.
J. Donnie, are we going to see Tanker J in the PGT free roll?
We could. If he is an annual PokerGo subscriber, then he will be entered into the PokerGo annual subscriber Dream Seed giveaway.
I think I went the short.
Join or upgrade now. Head on over to PokerGo.com or get.pokergo.com. Become an annual subscriber. Use the promo code DREAM30. Save $30 on your first year of a new annual subscription. That'll get you entered into our giveaway next drawing July 17th.
23, 24.
You guys can see all of the rules, terms and conditions, and all of that stuff over at pgt.com/dream.
There we go. So, no more excuses left to not be an annual sub for PokerGo. Just the idea alone of winning a seat into a $1 million free roll. That's worth it. All right, Zhu raising it up here with pocket 4s, 2.6 million. Let's see if he gets it through. Action folds to Tanker J. Let's see if he's going to do some tanking here from the big blind. He's not. He's going to just call right away. Let's see the flop.
Yeah, lucky
6, 7, 3.
I should bet it.
Decent looking flop if you have pocket 4s. goes check, check very quickly. Deuce on the turn. Check, check again. 9 on the river. Feels like we're just going to go to showdown here.
King high.
4s are getting shown, and Zhu is going to take this one down.
Y'all took all my friends from me.
Film only over there.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Hmm? I love it. Dude, that was sick. You come out right out the gate. He's still at out, so. All right.
All right, we're playing 5-handed. Richie Smith, our new short stack with 19 bigs. I mean, 19 bigs feels like a ton.
Oh, yes.
Action folds around to Johnson, our chip leader with 38 big blinds.
Raise 3,600,000.
His nickname might be Tanker J, but so far, last two hands, he's been acting rather quickly, raising it up here with 8-3 offsuit. Chiarelli in the big blind with 9s. Absolute premium hand given the scenario here. $21 big blinds.
We raise all in.
He moves all in, gets a quick fold, and takes this one down. All right, let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. We've had a chance to see a few orbits here. I'm sure you guys all have your favorites. I mean, Donnie is working on an absolute masterpiece right now. Absolute masterpiece. You guys
I
are
mean, the situation calls for it, okay?
You guys will see it in the chat in
He was
just a
over
minute.
there with a trainer, shadow boxing in the back. And he knocked my buddy out. And my buddy said, "Can you please just knock him out?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like to." And I guess I did.
Once again, a reminder that we have front-to-back coverage of the 50K PPC Day 3 tomorrow.
Raise
Coverage starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to go till the final hand is dealt, which is probably going to be around 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern. So you might as well take work off on Wednesday. Johnson again with a raise. 2.4 million this time, coming in for the clean min raise. Chiarelli in the small blind is going to make the call, and Zhu is going to come along as well. Three-way action here. Ace 7-6. Just a top pair for Johnson. No big deal. Gut shot for Zhu.
Bet 4 million.
4 million is the bet from Johnson. Bit of a tanking here. Backdoor clubs. Gut shot straight draw. 8 on the turn would be a tremendous card, giving Johnson 2 pair.
2 players.
And his opponent a straight. But we are going to see a turn for 4 million apiece. Already 16 million in the middle. This is absolutely massive. Ace on the turn is going to give Johnson a lock on this hand. And he goes check, check really quickly. Jack on the river doesn't change a thing. Here comes the bet. Going for some value.
Fold.
Bet fold very quickly.
8 million.
Oh, there it is. Donnie added the tank to the chat. Love to see it. If you are part of our YouTube community, you can now use the tank emoji. Anytime Tanker J is involved, go nuts. Bar Charlie, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Says, can I get a drink over here, please? I mean, this feels like the kind of final table where I would love to have a beverage. Just having a good time with the buds. Most people in the chat, Donnie, when I ask who they're rooting for, are either saying they're rooting for Richie or against Richie. There's like super polarizing.
So he's the new Martin Cabral.
He
Richie Cabral over here.
The pace of play is very fast, contrary to last night's action.
That's what we like to see. Chang here, 2 4s. Chang is 45 years old, resides in Taiwan. Mentioned to us that his profession is interior design and real estate.
700,000.
Even though he lives in Taiwan, he was born in Wisconsin.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's quite a twist.
Oh yes. Smith here with the ace-8 off in the big blind. Smith working on 19 big blinds to begin this hand. Looks like his buddies on the rail there are drinking a Camus bottle of wine, which is a
Wow,
pretty expensive bottle of wine.
that's more like a super high roller type bottle.
Oh yes.
Not really. I mean, I guess when you're at the final table of a deep stack,
2,700,000.
you can afford that. Chang making it 2.7 million. Richie Smith in the big blind, ace-8 offsuit, giving it some thought.
Speaking of the super high roller, we might need to go borrow their iPads and shot clocks because
He does lay it down.
Chang chipping up there, now moves into second in chips. Jay Johnson remains the front runner, 44 big blinds for Jay Johnson. Saber asked if they finished tonight. Yes, playing to a winner. More than $300,000 up top for the champion in this event. And of course, the coveted WSOP gold bracelet. Ciccarelli here, ace-8 off from the cutoff seat. Coming in with the raise.
400,000.
2.4 million. Zhu has Jack-10 off on the button, kicks it in. King-7 of hearts for Chang in the big blind. This is a playable hand. He could also be a hand he could get pretty aggressive and 3-bet jam here. Wouldn't totally hate it. Chang gives it up though.
The Cove SF donates $5. which we very much appreciate. It says, last night as we approached the bubble, they rolled back the remaining players and we all booed. Imagine you're down to the final 500. Oh, wait, sorry. It's only actually 600.
You know, somebody got a little trigger happy with that mouse, clicking them down a little faster than actually was happening.
Donnie, you and I both have played many large field no limit events. There is something special about the energy when you approach something like a money bubble or a final table bubble in this type of tournament that is very different from a larger buy-in event.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of these players at these levels don't get to play at the World Series of Poker often, as you know, as often as a Daniel Negreanu or a Sean Deeb or a Phil Hellmuth, etc. Right? And for many of these people, it's their first cash, you know, and even if it's not their first cash, it's still extremely important to them to be able to finish in the money in a World Series of Poker gold bracelet event. It's still very important for me every time I do it. I'm sure you feel the same sort of way. So yeah, you know, you get really excited. You also get very nervous at the same time because it's like, you know, we're there. I don't want to bubble, but I have to also play to win. So yeah, the feeling is, you know, obviously people are aware of the bubbles and the higher buy-ins, but you know, something like the 250K super high roll the other day, it's like, been there, done that. They all know how to act. So, you know, not as exciting, I guess you would say.
Heads up to the flop here in the blinds. Show those tanks in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. We have Tanker J in the mix here. Cheng with a beautiful looking Jack-10 suited, opted not to raise before the flop. Let's see if he takes a stab here with the gut shot. Cheng throws out a bet, and that is enough to take it down. Well, would you look at that? We hit 500 likes on the video in the first 20 minutes. Always love to see it. Once again, if you're just tuning in, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. The more people do that, the more people will find out about this stream, and the more we are able to stream in the future. Donnie, you told me last night, should we do some giveaways? I'm suggesting tomorrow we do some PokerGO giveaways. How about that?
Yeah. So if you're watching today, you better come back tomorrow.
There we go. What are we giving away tomorrow?
No idea. I'll figure that out tonight.
Good. You heard it here first. Jay Timko says, poker is boring now. Very rarely even see a turn card. I mean, you gotta take into account here that the stacks are shallow, the payouts are absolutely insane. The jumps are massive. These guys are under a lot of pressure. They're just trying to get their money in good, and this is life-changing money if you're related back down to the buy-in. We're down to the final five, $91,000 guaranteed. The next player out is going to get $119,000. Just think about it. That is absolutely crazy.
About $30,000 in difference there, 28,000 or so. So, very big money for these players.
If you win $30,000 in an $800 buy-in, you've had a really good tournament.
Oh, heck yeah.
And here it's just a pay jump.
Ju's turn with the ace-jack. Coming in with the raise here.
Lots of ace-jack today.
Cheng looks interested. Don't know his holdings just yet, but get those in a moment. Ju's raise coming in here to 4 million. Big blind now 1.5 million. So we're playing 1 million, 1.5 million. Cheng in the tank here on the button with queen 10 off. Probably not a hand you want to go to war with against an under the gun raise. That said, Cheng's just going to ignore everything I just said and make the call. Ciccarelli here, queen jack offsuit in the big blind. He is going to make the call as well. So if you were complaining about some play, I mean, we're going 3 ways to a flop. Can't really complain there.
No, we have to see a turn, Donnie. That's when they're satisfied.
I mean, come on. I feel like 3 ways to a flop is pretty good.
Fun hands too.
That's it. That's right off.
King 8-6 rainbow on the flop here. No player with a king. Ace Jack remains in the lead. For those just tuning in, blinds now up to 1 million, 1.5 million. It's like we're in a rush to get this over with.
What 70?
57.
I think we just saw 2 quick folds there.
His
Yeah,
wife will
Shu's
be watching
gonna
it.
take this one down after betting 5.7 million. It's kind of crazy how fast these blinds are
No,
going
not
up.
my wife. His wife.
Yeah, half-hour levels in this tournament. It's scheduled. It's a 2-day event. Get them in, get them out.
Unbelievable.
John, when I'm
Richie
money,
Smith
I
down
split
to
it
13
around.
bigs.
I
He's our
don't
short
remember you
stack.
calling me. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
Give Richie some good cards. Let's gamble. Let's go.
Richie Smith looks like a gambler, doesn't he? Like, you know, he looks like he belongs at the poker table.
Exactly. I love
Got
it.
the shades. He's got the sleeve tattoo of all the cards.
I feel
He's
like
got the kind of blingy watch. You know, he's ready to go.
Every person watching right now in their local poker room has someone like Richie Smith, and it's one of the things that makes poker fun, is to have characters, to have people with personality, and people that are there just to have a good time.
Ace-10 here for Chang. Of the offsuit variety in the cutoff seat, but certainly good enough to come in here for a raise.
Nice.
Johnson with 9-8 offsuit. We might want to get those tanks back in the mix here. He's going to make the call, Donnie. Going to see a flop casually.
I don't know, Cicciarelli might have something to say about that. Finds the ace-jack of diamonds in the small blind. He's only got 15 big blinds to start, so.
Would you say this is a perfect spot to shove?
I think it's a good spot to shove, yes. I think Johnson has shown that he's willing to, you know, make some calls pre-flop, a little bit more on the looser side, so I wouldn't be too worried about him flatting with a very big hand. I know you also saw earlier him raise and then tank for quite a bit of time, facing the shove from CJ Johnson with the 2-7. So, you know, even if he does have a hand like, you know, some 6s, some 7s, you know, he can probably fold that against you here. So I like putting this in here. There it is. Cicciarelli there moving all in. Good spot to do so.
And this is worth so many chips. Incredible stuff. He's likely going to get this through. Chang, of course, unlikely to risk his tournament life with ace-10 offsuit.
Not kicking him in just yet.
Wow. Cheng came into the final table as the chip leader. There we go. Lets him go. So does Johnson. And Cicciarelli is going to rake in a massive pot without showdown.
Yeah, I mean, that's just so important for your chip stack and your positioning at this final table with these big pay jumps that these guys are battling for, with there not being so many big blinds in play. I think there's right about 150 million chips in play total. So with the big blind at 1.5 million, that means there's 100 big blinds total in play at this final table.
Wow.
So picking up, what, 6 there, you know, 5 to 6 there is absolutely massive.
Donnie, how
Does
important
everybody
is
get
it
along?
when you're at this final table to focus on only playing hands that you're willing to play for stacks. And the reason I'm saying that is because Johnson just tried to see a flop there with the 9-8 offsuit.
Hands and situations, because there are going to be times when you simply want to use the situation to leverage your stack, your positioning against your opponent. You know, for example, it folds to you in the small blind, you just want to jam it all in against the big blind, really put the pressure on him. You're not necessarily playing your hand, but you're playing the situation. You know, taking a shot there like Jay Johnson did with the 9-8 off, I wouldn't approve of it, you know, because it's just so valuable to maintain those chips. And if you do want to exercise your position as chip leader, then just start raising and 3-betting. Really put the pressure on these guys, you know. Of course, that is highly volatile, but better play than just being a little bit more on the passive side, calling and then, you know, folding when people act aggressive against you.
I've taken some notes, Donnie. Basically what you're telling me is just go all in.
That's right.
Let's just go for it. That looks like a committing type raise from Zhu in the small blind. Richie not happy.
11.
Said he was going to ship it. You heard him there.
Well, this hand is over.
Not ship the 8-5 clubs.
Maybe not. All right, once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We're approaching 1,000 likes on the video. Let's get there. Let's get to 1,000 likes during this next hand. Much love to everyone watching. It is 9:30 p.m. on a Monday night, and you guys are all watching poker with us. Could not be happier to have this awesome crowd. We're going to stream this final table until we get a winner. And judging by the blind levels in the structure, this could be an earlier night than most. Oh, we got Hawaii in the house. Love to see it. Boom, there it is. You guys delivered.
Nice. 350 million.
9-8 off, raising on the button. As Donnie just taught us, raising is just fine. You just don't want to get into the calling business. And there it is. Cheng finds queens in the big blind. Let's see if he is going to kick it up immediately.
Cheng's only got 13 big blinds in his stack, so likely just going to be a 3-bet shove here from the big blind, attacking that button open.
Oh, we got Peru, Ohio, Ventura, California, Harris, Cherokee. Good luck at the tables. We got Ryan from Toronto. We got Michigan, Hammer, South Carolina, Brooklyn, San Fran, Sicily. Damn, you guys are all over the place. There it is. The Aussies are back in town.
I'm all in.
There it is. All in shot from Cheng.
All in.
Probably just a little bit of posturing here from Zhu. Doesn't want to make it seem like he's just opening the button with anything, but got to figure the 9-8 off is going to find itself into the muck.
Yeah, but this tanking gives me time to do more shout-outs, Donnie.
There you go.
We got San Antonio, Beijing. We got Fresno, Vancouver, Albuquerque, Rochester, Springfield, Shelby, North Carolina, Thailand, Brazil, New Orleans, Bakersfield in the house. I went to Bakersfield this year. What a weird place. One of the weirdest places I've ever been to. Jacksonville. Meanwhile, Cheng takes this one down with queens.
But you got to root for me when he's on the hand.
Thank you, Johnson.
We got some beverages flowing on the rail. Friends and family in town. And there we have, what is this? Ace, King, Queen. We got Broadway. We got the Vegas sign. Is it a Joker on there too?
I mean, you got to love it.
He went for the big face cards. Alan Kessler approved.
You got to make sure you can see him from across the table.
if you guys in the chat were to get a poker tattoo, what would it say? Let us know in the chat. King 9 suited there for Smith, Donnie. Seems like a pretty straightforward shove here, right?
Yeah. 10 big blinds here on the button. Only got to get through small blind, big blind. Even if you get called, you probably have decent enough equity, unless obviously somebody wakes up with a premium.
330 million.
Gonna come in with a raise here though. Makes it 3.3 million.
Is that a single stack of blues that you got?
Tanker J wants to know some numbers there, but ultimately lets it go pretty quickly.
It's easy when you got the best hand.
You had way the best hand.
They always believe me.
Oh, you got greens behind there?
1.5 behind in green. 2 million in green. So you would have shipped it?
No, not that hand. I hadn't looked. No
I mean,
way.
you had outs.
Well, yeah.
I don't know, he had 9-5, you had him crushed.
He was crushed, yes.
Heads up match between Smith and Cabral, one time.
One time.
High stakes duel.
Yes.
Get Brent Hanks on the phone.
we need Richie Smith in the studio, that's for sure. We need him.
Seems like a great candidate for no gamble in the future.
I was just gonna say, if Richie Smith wins this tournament, we need to get him a no gamble, no future. We just need to. King 6 off here for Cheng. Donnie, Cheng doing everything he can to pick up some chips. Of course, it's easy to play when you have queens like the hand before, but every single time it gets folded to him, he is considering raising, and this time he's involved here with King 6 off.
Yeah, good spot here to attack on the button. Ciccarelli does make the call from the big blind.
How do you feel about this, Donnie, given the stack size is only 20 bigs deep here?
I mean, I'd probably put King Deuce in the muck, but, you know, then I wouldn't be flopping 2 pair here like this.
Yeah, but how comfortable are you really if Cheng decides to come out blasting?
Well, I don't think you're going to be flopping much better when you play the King Deuce off, so this is a spot I think you just need to go with it. I mean, you mentioned the stack size as being shallow. Anytime your chips are generally on the shorter side, your stack to pot ratio is on the smaller side. I mean, you just need less of a hand in order to get your money in.
But now, Donnie, what do we do here with the deuce?
Get it in.
Shout out to my boy from back in the day, Pascal. Says he's watching from TT Extra deal, which I believe is a lie, because I know he lives in Vegas. It's funny, these guys are acting slow in certain spots. The levels are only 30 minutes, and in a way, it basically boils down to them playing maybe 6 to 10 hands per level at this rate.
Yep.
2.7.
Ciccarelli is going to just call here.
Ace hits on the turn, Donnie. If you're in Cheng's situation here, are you going to use this as an opportunity to keep bluffing?
I think he should, yes. Good card for his range. He does just check it behind, though, which signals he's given up. Ciccarelli here checking again. Cheng's just going to check it behind.
Wow. What a break for Ciccarelli. I'm all over the place with the pronunciation of this wonderful Italian name. Either way, he's going to take this one down. And here's a look at something that could help all of us.
Of course, it helps me all the time. GTO Wizard, the #1 app for poker players. Check it out at gtowizard.com/PokerGo to receive free access for 24 hours as well as 10% off your first purchase. You can play hands against GTO opponents. You can study your own hand histories. You can read blog posts. GTO Wizard is a great tool to improve your poker game. Check it out today. Chang here with the 10-9 off. Given the way he's been playing, wouldn't be surprised to see him come in with a raise here, but of course he could fold this as well. He's out of the cutoff seat here. He is now the shortest stack remaining, 12 big blinds. Breaking down all his chips there.
He does have a lot of physical chips. Cheng is one of the slower players at this final table. There's no shot clocks. And like I said before, only 30-minute levels. He's burning up a lot of clock.
Yeah, burning up a lot of clock. I have to imagine he's going to lean to play this hand if he's taking this much time with it. There is the all-in shove.
Wow. Maybe a bit of frustration in there too.
Yeah, you know, getting on the shorter side. This is going to work, though.
It is. And with the blinds at 1 million, 1.5 million, with the 1.5 million big blind ante, it's going to have a massive effect right away. Here's a look at some of the people on the rail. By the way, if you're in Las Vegas, you're always more than happy to come and check out the final tables. We have seating for our final table set.
Look at my man there. Poker is stupid shirt. Such an insult to our game.
The beautiful game. Richie Smith, our short stack on 13 big blinds. He's going to need to make something happen here real quick.
Five players remaining, all guaranteed. A little over 91,000. Facing about a $28,000 pay jump, because the final four will be guaranteed $119,000 in change. Of course, up top, 339,000 big ones.
Cheng's hand strength goes up, and he decides to lay it down. Tanker J here in the mix. Ace Queen offsuit. Massive premium hand when you're playing five-handed with shallow stacks.
Race 450.
450 million, she announced.
I think it's 4.5 million, so 3x.
3x the big blind here. Smith not getting the cards he needs, but in a strange way, when your cards are that bad, you're forced into patience, which sometimes also pays off as it pertains to some pay jumps. We saw a few quick eliminations here right off the bat, now down to the final five. If you're just tuning in, this is the final table of the $800 Deep Stack event at the 2023 World Series of Poker. Final five players, guaranteed $91,000. Next pay jump, we're going to go up to $119,000. Lots of money on the line, massive pay jumps, especially considering the buy-in was only 800 bucks. This is one of those events that all of us watching right now can picture ourselves being at the final table of. I'm sure we've all taken shots before playing in tournaments like this, or at least aspire to. And then before you know it, you're playing for a gold bracelet, which is just absolutely insane. Ace-8 suited, enough to raise it up. 3.7 million this time. We're going to go a little bit smaller. Zhu in or on the button here. This is going to see a flop. Why not? If Smith finds anything right now, this will be the perfect time to shove. Donnie, is King 10 off too weak?
Yeah, I think so. It is for me. I'd be putting this in the muck here.
Does lay it down. Obviously not happy about it. He would love to find something worth shoving. All right, one of my favorite situations in all of poker. Two of the same hands facing off. 11.4 million in the middle. Queen 4-4, reminiscent of Mr. Phil Hellmuth at the US Poker Open. Action goes check, check. King of clubs on the turn, giving Zhu a flush draw. Once again, we're happy to check. Arrived on the river. This is a chop unless anyone does anything. It doesn't get checked down. Chop it up, boys. Next hand, let's move on.
Feels like that'll be a frustrating one for Richie Smith to see, because he would have turned the best hand.
For the players, or for all of us, and I include the players in the chat, meaning chat pros, of course. What's the biggest buy-in you've ever played that you made the final table of a tournament? The biggest buy-in of an event you made the final table in. Donnie, what's yours?
Good question.
I know. I'll tell mine. It was €1,000.
Mine was $1,000.
Wow. So I win.
You do win.
The Estrellas Poker Tour back in 2011. Final 5. Kings versus Ace-10. Ace on the flop. That was it. It was 100K for first. It was so close.
So close.
If I won that, I would have been at this final table. Life would have been so different. What was yours?
The recent charity event that we had at the studio.
Oh, nice. Is that on your Hendem up?
It is actually.
Oh, I love that.
I didn't think that it would be on there, but yeah, it is.
Oh, we got a few hot shots with us in the chat today. So when I ask the same question again next year, I hope you guys all have a bigger number to show up with. Deuce 3-4 on the flop here. We got heads-up action. Zhu with Ace-6 in the lead here against Johnson. $4.5 million is the bet on the turn here from Johnson. Zhu is thinking about it and makes the call with just ace high. Very well spotted here. I wonder if he can get the showdown here with ace high, or if he has any larger ambitions of taking this pot away from his opponent. But all of a sudden, there's a king on the river, and Johnson gets the check mark. 23.5 million in the middle. Massive pot. $5.5 million.
It's 1, 2, 5, 5.5.
Not really sure what you would beat here if you're Zhu. I mean, you're losing to all pairs. You're losing to the kings on the river. You know, even hands like ace, queen, ace, jack, if that's what Johnson is deciding to bluff with, you're losing there. He does give it up, correctly sniffs it out.
Donnie, if the river is any non-Broadway card, are you considering calling down in this scenario?
I think Zhu would be more likely to call.
If it was like a 9.
Yeah, I think he would be more likely to call there. I mean, maybe he would have landed on the same decision that he just did there, where it was a fold. I'm not sure, but you know, I think that he just felt that he was beat there. I mean, it took to the river for Johnson to beat him there, but certainly the way Johnson played the hand, 3-betting out of the big blind and then barreling that turn and river.
No, it's okay.
Johnson up to 60 million chips.
I mean, he's in a really good spot here. 40% of the chips in play, 40 big blinds. Ciccarelli, the only other player over 20 big blinds, he's got 23. And then the other players are 13, 12, and 10 big blinds. So Johnson should really be able to apply pressure here. For example, right now, Zhu raising the king-jack off. I mean, if Johnson just puts this in, I mean, like,
yeah,
it's not the best spot in the world to be Zhu. You know, you have two stacks that are shorter than you. There's a 28K pay jump on the line. I mean, do you want to bust with king-jack off? I don't know.
Ciccarelli, not a fan of giving up his big blind.
No, I think he's defended every single one, or close to every single one. We just saw him defend on the last rotation with king deuce off, so.
Shout out to Kevin Crawford. He says, had a buddy owe me $200 and he had an extra seat to a Saturday. Got the extra seat he had and won the tournament to get into the main.
Wow, look at that.
That's awesome. Wow, look at this. Donnie.
This is not in my textbook.
We're swinging. We're swinging right now.
We are swinging.
We're in the Phoenix Suns apparel. This feels like one of those half-court shots.
Ciccarelli certainly putting the pressure on Zhu here. This is kind of what I was alluding to in regards to Johnson. Ciccarelli helping with the count there. He did 3-bet to 8 million, so 5 million more.
2 million big blinds. I got about 8.
King Little here for Ciccarelli is blocking some more premium holdings that Zhu could have. Obviously, we can see that in this case he's not, but you know, you do block hands like the ace-king, king-queens, king-jacks that could be raising here.
I mean, what do you do when you're a Zhu here and you have king-jack offsuit? You know, like you're looking at Richie Smith's stack. He has 10 bigs. Do you really want to risk it all here with king-jack? That is a huge decision. If you're in the chat right now, let us know. After raising with king-jack, are you risking it all when the big blind 3-bets you? I mean, it looks so strong.
It does look strong, and it looks extra strong given the position that Zhu originally came in from. He raised from under the gun. He raised from under the gun off 13 big blinds. So in a lot of instances, Zhu is going to be very strong here, right? Or at least towards the top part of his range. And you see Zhu give it up there. Ciccarelli getting the job done with the old King Little.
Wow. Some power poker right here, Donnie, but perhaps a bit too risky.
I mean, I don't think it's that risky. I mean, it's obviously risky. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think it's a calculated risk. And I think it's a very good spot. Good recognition there from Ciccarelli.
And we now have the haves and the have-nots when looking at the chip counts. Jason Johnson, 39 big blinds. John Ciccarelli, 26 big blinds. And then Chang on 12, Zhu on 11, and Richie Smith on 10 big blinds. By the way, if you are just tuning in, final table action. Don't go anywhere. Keep watching because we're going to go down to a winner tonight. $339,000 up for grabs in this event. The final 5 guaranteed $91K. And we're trying to get to 10,000 viewers. So if you guys just smash that like button a few more times, subscribe to the channel, perhaps the YouTube gods will show the rest of the world this wonderful stream as well. Much love.
Until when it counted.
I think it's also worth pointing out that Ciccarelli has a great spot at the table, given this, how the stacks have broken down. He has the chip leader, Johnson, to his direct right, so he can always see how he plays and then go from there. You see he's going to 3-bet, I think.
Keep an account on your chips over there? Do you know how many you got? I know you have me covered.
Yeah, I do have you covered.
I'm just curious how many you have. Do you know? It's a big pile.
Big pile.
Fair enough.
Donnie, what's the official rule here? Does he have to be able to give an exact count?
I don't think you have to give an exact count, but I think you do have to make your chips visible.
35?
I'm surprised to see Cicciarelli here just calling.
You got what, 35 million?
You got like 70.
You got like 70 million.
Oh, you're just messing with me.
Six, 5, 4, 2 clubs. Johnson takes the lead. Quickly leading out here. Cicciarelli's probably going to kick himself a little bit for not 3-betting pre. You hear Smith there kicking himself for not trying to steal with the 6-3 of spades under the gun, but that would not be advised, sir.
There's no way Johnson knows even within 10 million how many chips he has right now. There's just no way.
They don't look like they're in even stacks of 20. They look like they're about 28. Kind of all over the place. They're kind of falling over. Leaning Tower of Pisa style, so you know. All he needs to know is that he's the chip leader, right? I mean, that's kind of the most important thing. As long as he knows that, which I'm assuming he would because there is a pile of 500Ks in front, then that's good enough for him. Surprised to see him give up the King-9 off there from the cutoff. Come on, you got to be a chip leader, Tanker J. Zhu moving all in with the King-6 off there from the small blind, attacking Smith in the big blind, who quickly folds his hand. Queen deuce off there for Smith was the hand that went into the muck. Smith is going to need to find it pretty soon.
Nope. That's a small.
Those are his 3.
He didn't put enough up.
Oh, went up. Went up.
It went up?
Yeah.
It's
240.
it is? Okay.
All right, blinds have gone up to 2 million.
1, 2, whatever.
Wait, did you say 2 million, 4 million? That seems like an insane jump.
I feel like it would go to 1 million, 2.5 million is kind of the way that they've been doing it in a lot of spots. Or 1 million, 2 million, there you go.
1 million, 2 million. We're just playing a friendly game of poker. A friendly game of poker. Average stack right now, 14 big blinds. 3 players with 10 or fewer. Feel like we're just due for a big all-in in the not so distant future.
Six two, 6-3, 9-2, Queen 2.
You can hear Richie Smith in the background complaining about the cards he's been receiving. He's down to 5 big blinds. Action here on Cheng, who's going to lay it down, give a walk, and I feel as though we are getting closer to a lot more walks being dished out as players do not want to be the next one out the door. Once again, the next pay jump, basically $30,000, which is just hard to even fathom. Donnie, if you're Johnson right now, are you supposed to be raising basically every single hand?
I mean, yeah, that's why I said I was surprised to see him fold King-9 off from the cutoff seat. I mean, it would almost be a spot where you just don't even look at your cards, just min raise
Right.
every hand. Smith here moving all in, 9-6 of hearts. Smith is down to about 5.5 big blinds here, so just gonna go with some suited cards here that kind of connect and get his money in.
If you're in the big blind here as Ciccarelli, what are you going to call with? You got to have a pretty wide calling range, I'm assuming. King Deuce in the muck. Donnie, King Deuce is a fold there, but like, what are we calling with? For 5 bigs. King Deuce suited?
You could probably call King Deuce suited, yeah. I mean, you're calling probably Jack 10 suited, Queen 9, Queen 8, stuff like that.
Hey, I like my chances with it.
Exactly. They had to call to see the bum deck, right?
We are coming at you
All
live,
in.
by the way. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me as Richie Smith is all in once again. Queen 10 offsuit for 16.3 million. I mean, these shoves, if they go uncalled, are worth so much given how short everyone is. Chip leader right now, 33 big blinds. You're looking at him. Tanker
Closer.
J. Closer, but Queen 8 is going to go into the muck. Ace-7 off.
What'd you say?
I said
Snap
closer.
fold.
Closer?
Closer.
No, I can't show this
Donnie,
one.
Not cool.
Generally speaking, if you're shoving 2 hands
That's
in
a
a row,
good
you're
one.
probably stronger on the second one, which he was. I mean, it wasn't the strongest of hands, Queen 10-0, but, you know. If you're Ciccarelli, I mean, you're in an interesting spot because you have a good amount of chips, not a ton of chips, because it ultimately is only 15 big blinds, but given how all the stacks at the table shake out, I mean, if you were to end the tournament right now, let's say, you know, just without having to do like the ICM calculations and everything, he's in second place.
right.
That's $209,000. So
It's
should he risk 10, 11 big blinds of his stack with A7 off? You know, probably not.
But now that he's on the button, he's first to act, he's going to have to move all in here.
Yeah, your first act, your first in, you can be the one putting the pressure on your opponents.
It almost feels like we're watching a satellite, Donnie, for 300K.
Yeah, I mean, this is what these tournaments ultimately come down to. 9-6 off there, 9-8 in the muck.
I do love it. I love it. We get to see every form of poker. Donnie and I have been doing commentary this entire WSB. We've done limit hold'em. We've done 7-card stud. We've done just, you know, high roller, no limit hold'em. And now we're watching this $800 buy-in, which is once again completely different. It's almost like a different form of poker, Donnie.
Certainly is. You certainly have to be able to play the push-fold game. Johnson here, our chip
the last
leader, under the
American.
gun, ace 3 off, kicks it into the muck. Ace 5 off for Ciccarelli in the cutoff seat. See if he wants to get aggressive again. Looks like he's going to. There is a raise.
That was a very quick all-in from Zhu. Queens. Wow. That is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Is that Smith saying, please call? I mean, he's sweating that 28K pay jump. I mean, that's exactly what it's all about, you know?
The pressure of the pay jumps is enormous. Zhu all in for just 13.3 million.
And I think the way Ciccarelli played this, it leads me to believe he's going to get away from it.
Once again,
There
back
it
to
is.
back
There's a
to
fold.
yeah, back to what you said, Donnie. He's okay risking the 2 bigs. He doesn't want to risk, what was it, 9 or 8 big
Yeah, and
blinds?
if he did want to risk the 9, then he would have just moved all in to start, right? And put maximum pressure, really make them wake up with the big hand. Obviously, in that spot, we know Zhu would have woken up with the big hand, the queens, and put his money in, but you know, you really force them to just absolutely have it.
Reminder for tomorrow's action, we're streaming the $50,000 Poker Players Championship live for free from the start to the finish on our horseshoe table. The final table of that event obviously is going to be on the main channel on PokerGo.com. We're providing you with 2 full days of early coverage of the 50K PPC, the best of the best battling, starting at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Might as well take the whole day off to watch that coverage. As of right now, they are down to the final 45. As Donnie mentioned earlier, James Ops is the chip leader. Few big names there near the top of the counts. Brian Rast, Josh Aryeh, John Reisner, Dmitry Urbanovich, some guy by the name of Phil Ivey in the mix. Jeremy Osmus is there. Scott Seaver. It's a who's who. Oh, Mr. Phil Hellmuth, still in the mix.
Okay.
So we're up for some epic action tomorrow of the 50K. And Donnie has already promised to do some giveaways during that stream tomorrow, so you better show up. Meanwhile, we're rapidly approaching 10,000 viewers on tonight's stream, which would be awesome. If you want to help us reach that number, all you have to do is just like the video and subscribe to the channel. It'll tell the YouTube gods to send more people our way.
Chang here. Pocket deuces, or as Brent Hanks calls them, the mallards. 6 big blinds. He is all in from the button.
A lot of physical chips, but it is not a whole lot to call for his opponents. Johnson, one of the few hands that you can easily fold. Donnie, what about this one?
I think ultimately you throw it in another spot. You just don't want to risk it. It's just not good enough, I don't think.
I mean, I know they're our sponsor, but I also just want to point out once more, GTO Wizards for this sort of stuff, this sort of final table action, is just perfect. You're going to get so many answers from using the app.
Yeah, and they have great stuff where, you know, you can literally put in scenarios and play them out as if you're playing online poker. Like, you can repeat the same scenario over and over again. You know, you say, I want to play a 20 big blind stack on the button. And you can plug that in, and it'll just constantly keep feeding you hands. You click the actions, it'll tell you if you were right, wrong, in the middle. Great tool. Ciccarelli here in the small blind, queen 9 of hearts. I'm guessing this is going in. Zhu in the big blind with 11 big blinds. There it is. There's the shove. Zhu is not going to find it with the 9-4 off, and Ciccarelli picks this one up.
So much pressure on these short stacks. They're basically all short stacks, but it's just a different kind of pressure. Johnson, the only one probably feeling comfortable.
Okay.
Okay, Richie. Tell us how you really feel.
Gets a walk in the big blind, looks at King Jack.
You knew I was shipping, didn't you?
Good call.
You knew I was shipping it. So did you.
Everyone knew, man.
They can tell.
It's because your cards are on your sleeve. I mean,
You had me crushed.
Aren't we glad? I mean, isn't everybody glad I knocked Pat Lyons out of this so we don't have to listen to him for the rest of it? And then watch him get
world
mad at
famous
all of
Pat
us?
Lyons.
Wasn't that pretty?
By the way, Karai Aldemir, former main event champ, went very deep in this tournament.
Oh, yes.
What must it be like for someone like a Karai Aldemir to go from playing the 250K super high roller and basically busting like what, 3 spots off the money?
Yes.
To then jumping in this and then making a run playing, you know, against opposition that doesn't, you know, spend their every waking hour of their life studying the charts.
I mean, it must be crazy. I was kind of surprised to see him in this. I thought he would just kind of take that time off and then hop in the 50K PPC, which is one of his favorite events to play.
Maybe,
but I mean, he loves it more than anyone, I guess. That's just what it comes down to.
Maybe he was using this as a satellite for the PPC.
It's quite a long satellite.
We were at the same table, right? When he got mad at me for jamming ace-5 off with like 12 bigs, just berating me.
Yeah.
After he was nice to me all
And
day.
then I knocked him out.
I thought he was like a funny character the whole time, and then he started berating me, and I was like, okay, like this isn't.
Yeah,
cool
it was getting a little weird, right?
bizarre. Were you at my table?
I guess
before, too,
we
when
missed out on
that
some
guy
drama,
got
Donnie.
king, queen?
I mean, Pat Lyons is always
Like you were there.
a character at the
Some guy-
table.
Somebody, he rejammed ace-10 suited, and some guy
One of
called
a
him
kind
king,
personality.
queen off, and he was just berating the guy for calling with king queen off. Ended up knocking him out, and he went to go try to shake his hand. Guy wouldn't shake his hand, and then he started complaining that, like, oh, that's not how you take a loss. Like, you
All
take
in?
a loss better than that. Like, you're
Richie
locked in.
Smith all in here. Couldn't act fast enough when the play folded to him on the button. Queen 9 off. Gets through one guy. Oh, kings for Johnson.
Wow.
Quick call here.
Queen 9. He's got king.
Got caught speed.
Richie Smith cannot believe it.
Oh my God. All right. We are back in an all-in showdown after about 45 minutes
There's one queen.
of slow action and a queen on the flop there for Richie Smith. He's going to need a bit more help to find a double up.
Hey, who
He's
at
got
this
5
table
outs though.
is rooting for me? Huh?
Turn is a 5 of hearts.
That blows.
Not
You
very
ruined
bad
all the
card for
fun.
Richie Smith. Queen and a queen only will keep him alive. It's a 6 of clubs. Richie Smith eliminated in 6th place. Immediately rips off the microphone. Loving some of that static in the background here. Smith takes home $91,000 for finishing in 5th place. We are now down to the final 4.
Everyone now getting over $100,000, $119,000 for 4th place. Huge money on the line here.
Absolutely massive money on the line. Just to let you all know, $157,000 for 3rd, $209 for 2nd, and $339,000 for 1st.
An absolute dream spot now for Jay Johnson as well.
Wow.
He's up over 80 million in chips. He's got 55% of the chips in play. I would expect him to just be raising and re-raising every single hand, putting maximum pressure on everyone at the table. Most specifically, putting pressure on Ciccarelli because he's the player with a really good amount of equity in his stack, being on 18 big blinds, 2nd in chips. And then Ju and Chang are both sub 10 big blinds. Ju is on 8 big blinds, Chang is on 6 big blinds. When you play poker in a poker tournament, you dream of making final tables, and then you dream of making final tables with a dominant chip lead like Jay Johnson has right now.
All right, Queen 9 offsuit. That might be enough to shove with. He's going to lay it down. I'm just trying to picture playing for this kind of money on such a small buy-in.
Like here, I think Johnson should just move all in.
Right.
I mean, Ciccarelli's just going to have to fold so tight here.
I think we found the microphone abuser. It's Gicciarelli, who's like the drawstrings from his hoodie are causing this static.
Got it.
So it seems. Check on the flop here, king on the turn.
These guys look pretty content to just check it down.
We've seen more checkdowns in the last 30 minutes than we've seen the entire WSOP. And as I say that, we're going to see a bet on the river here. A 4 million chip bet from Gicciarelli. Johnson makes the call, and all of a sudden, Gicciarelli chipping up really nicely. Massive ICM implications. Christian Cheng, our short stack with 6 big blinds. Kiang Zhu, 8 big blinds. And then Gicciarelli on 21 and Johnson on 38.
Chang will be under the gun here. He's got Jack 7 of diamonds. He's only got 6 big blinds. Almost 7 big blinds. Next hand, 2 big blinds would be committed to the pot from the big blind ante and the big blind. So might see him put in the Jack 7 of diamonds. Here we go. That is what Chang is going to do.
Ace 8 off, Donnie. To me, that feels like, let's go.
Feels like a good spot to reshove here. You probably can consider that Chang is, you know, thinking like, I have to pay 2 big blinds in the next hand. I have to be committed. I'm so short. So anything like kind of marginal, semi-good, he's just going to go with. Gicciarelli here, same sort of thing. I think he can get his money in here. I feel like every time Gicciarelli has pulled those chips out to the right side of his cards, out of his bigger stack on the left, he's put them in. He is going to shove here, knock out Zhu. Here we go.
All right, Jack 7 versus King Queen. Jack 7 suited at risk. Big all-in confrontation to potentially get us down to 3-handed play. Once again, a reminder of these pay jumps. 119,000 guaranteed for the final 4. Third place gets $157,000. King Queen versus Jack 7. Feels like a fair fight. Chang probably not too unhappy, especially seeing a Jack in the window. Chang grabs the lead, but guess what? Gicciarelli still 14 outs.
Can also go backdoor hearts.
Turn card, deuce of clubs. Gicciarelli still 14 outs. Chang 1 step closer to a double up though. Let's see the river card. Yes! It is the 3 of spades. Chang with the big double up, all of a sudden changing those table dynamics. Sometimes all it takes is one big hand and you're back in action.
Jack come out. Jack come out. Yeah.
Zhu, the short stack with 6 big blinds. All eyes will now be on him. Still 4-handed here at this World Series of Poker final table.
Christian Chang, a 45-year-old interior designer slash real estate professional. His second ever cash, Remco, is this one.
Wow.
His first ever one, he cashed the $600 half and half, half no limit hold'em, half PLO event earlier at this World Series of Poker. Has no other cash results on record, according to the HendonMob.com. This is his second one, and he is certainly making it count. Guaranteed more than $119,000.
It's one of my favorite things about the World Series of Poker, seeing players from all levels win life-changing money. And of course, the best event for that still to come, the main event, where so many satellite winners will have a chance at winning that massive money. But if you're not in main event territory as far as your bankroll goes, events like these are fantastic. And Donnie, we have another one coming up on PokerGo real soon, as the Monster Stack is going on right now.
Oh, yeah. They're playing day 3 right now. We were originally scheduled to show that on PokerGo tomorrow. We're actually going to bump it to Wednesday because they had about 1,800 more entries in the field this year. So it's going to take an extra day for that one.
So absurd.
But that one will be coming to us on PokerGo. Kitcharelli here moving all in.
There we go. King 7 of hearts. Beautiful looking hand.
This one should get through. 9-8 suited is a pretty hand, but not one I think you want to play for stacks in this scenario. Last year, of course, the Monster Stack delivered. Mike Jukic winning nearly $1 million for first place. Jumped on the table when he won. Remember that one?
Oh, my God, yes.
Literally jumped on the table. I mean, he won $966,000 last year. This year's winner is going to get more than $1.1 million. That is the Monster Stack Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time on PokerGo.
100不来，FT 一把牌没来，人头都不是我收的，没跑过，我操！目前还没跑过，我操，过分了呀！
Zhu probably also happy, laughing, and smiling about the fact that he made it this far. Right now, it must feel a little bit like a free roll.
Oh, yes. 2 8s here on the button. Certainly good enough of a hand to move all in on his final 6 big blinds. Is Johnson going to find it here? Queen 5 off? I don't think so. Into the muck it goes.
Big pickup there.
Oh, yes.
关键的一跑。
All right, we are down to the final 4 players in this event. Time for a short break. Don't go anywhere. Action continues in about 10 minutes. Please come back to join us for the conclusion of this event. My name is Rem Karinkama. Donnie Peters alongside me. We'll see you guys in a few.
2.5 big one.
And what's the small?
What's that was 1.3.
Yeah, 1.3.
Welcome back to the 2023 World Series of Poker. Four-handed action in this $800 deep stack event. Ladies and gentlemen, there is life-changing money on the line if you're just tuning in. $119,000 guaranteed for these final four, $339,000 for the eventual winner. My name is Remco Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside me. We're calling the action until we get a winner tonight. Place your bets right now. Let us know in the chat who is going to take this down. And while you're at it, let us know where you're watching from. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. As Cheng starts things off really, really hot with pocket aces.
Hello. Welcome back, sir.
Exactly.
Just 2 aces.
5 million.
Ciccarelli here in the big blind. Queen 10 offsuit. Looks tempted to get involved here. We're playing, Donnie, we're playing the epic level of 1.3 million, 2.5 million with a 2.5 million chip ante. Wow, he's going to make the call. We're going to see a flop here. Did not expect to see any flops without all-ins in this new blind level, but here we are, the first hand off the deck. Right away, we are seeing 10, 9, ace out there.
Check.
全是他姐走的。
Actually goes check, check. King of diamonds on the turn. Ciccarelli might think his pair is starting to look better as Cheng does not show any aggression, but little does he know his opponent has top set.
我到现在还没跑过一回呢。
Cheng is going to put together a bet here on the turn.
你那边完事儿了。啊？放这儿来啊？明天再干。
5 million.
5 million is the bet.
行呀
Pair and a gut shot
过了去，这不又过了一天。
for Ciccarelli here. Ciccarelli going to lay this one down, and Cheng starts off after the break with a nice little win.
妈的，下个盲没了。500万。
All right, Donnie, this is anyone's game. The short stack on 6 bigs, the big blind on 28 bigs. What sort of strategy would you suggest to the two players caught in the middle here, Cheng and Ciccarelli, 13 and 10 big blinds respectively?
I mean, I think you gotta be on the tighter side. Pick your spots relatively conservatively because Zhu is so short still.
Action folds around to Ciccarelli in the small blind, 8-4 offsuit. It's gonna get tossed into the muck. He has 7 deuce in the big blind. Happy to receive a walk there.
可以，发财了。
If you're just tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear. There we go. Candace watching from South Africa. Hope you're all doing well on this Monday night. Tomorrow, I can't say it enough. We have exclusive live coverage of the 50K PPC. Donnie, how much coffee are you bringing?
Lots of it. Lots and lots and lots of it.
We're going to stream all.
Probably a trend today.
We're going to stream all day long from 3 p.m. until the end of the night, which is going to be roughly around 1 in the morning.
Okay.
Shu all in, 10-9 off. Chang with 6s in the big line, Donnie. This is probably a call.
Yes.
Chang taking his time. Are there any pairs you're supposed to be folding here, Donnie?
I mean, I would just be calling every pair.
Looks like Chang is calling or putting together the bet to see how much he is left with in case he were to lose.
I understand it stinks to lose this pot if you were to lose it, but you know, you would be in the situation that Ju is in, so it's not the worst thing in the world.
Here we go, all in and a call, 6s versus 10-9 offsuit. Let us know in the chat who's going to pull this one out.
Ju seems happy to see that he's got 2 overs.
It's a fair fight. Fair fight indeed. 6s versus 10-9, 10-9 at risk here. Ju is going to need some help. Here comes the flop. Oh, there it is. Jack 9-3. Ju takes the lead here with a pair of 9s. Let's see the turn card. Turn is a 9 again. Ju very happy so far. Chang 2 outs. Needs to hit a 6. River card. It is the Queen of Hearts. Double up for Ju. Rolls reversed. Chang now down to 13.3 million. Better make sure that's right. Lots of money on the line. Every single big blind matters right now for these players. Final four guaranteed $119,000, so you don't want to be missing out on any chips here.
Okay.
Right.
All right, action will continue as Chang now down to just 5 bigs. Tough spot for him.
I was rooting against you.
Donnie, all this chip counting and all these all-ins, are just burning us through another level very quickly.
Yeah, only 30-minute levels in this tournament, so pretty much every second, certainly every minute counts. You know, you want to try and see as many hands as possible before the blinds go up, but not getting too many in.
Wow. Fresh off of a double up, Zhu finds ace-king of hearts.
Wow is right.
Donnie, would you rather just min raise, or you're just going to go for it here?
I think raising here is fine.
Cheng finds king queen offsuit. Is about as good as you can hope for, being down to 5 big blinds.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just have to put your money in here and hope for the best.
Wow, lays down the king queen offsuit, Donnie.
Okay.
What does he know that we don't know?
It's a good question. He's got 5 big blinds. He has, what, 2 free hands? I think you have to just go with the king queen off there. Obviously, you see the cards like we do, you know, you can see that he was dominated, but
Cheng, of course, remains the short stack. Ciccarelli on 10 big blinds has nearly double his stack. Zhu lets one go here, and Cheng folds the king queen off and then finds pocket jacks.
I mean,
there's
that's why we're in the booth and he's out there at the final table.
There's a method to the madness. He finds exactly what he's hoping for in a spot like this. The question now, will he get some action? No action for him, and he will take it down without showdown.
So it's me. Tell him the hand history, see what he thinks. Tell him the hand history, see what he thinks.
World famous Pat Lyons on the rail there. I guess he wants to see where his chips are going to end up.
He's changing the
That's right. World famous Pat Lyons finished 13th in this event for $21,000.
Action on Johnson, 10 deuce offsuit. Looks as though he's going to come in for a raise here. What a brave man Jason Johnson is. Doubled up at the start of the final table, then picked up some steam to grow that chip lead. 5.5 million is the raise. Ace deuce offsuit for Ciccarelli goes into the muck. Zhu 7-6 off also mucks. Picks up the blinds and antes here. Very significant. Ciccarelli and Cheng now, both on 7 big blinds. It's going to be interesting to see how these guys are going to handle the fact that there's a massive pay jump on the line. Almost $40,000 between 4th and 3rd.
Huge jump. Such a big jump.
Johnson pocket sevens. absolute premium when you're playing four-handed with these shallow stacks. Just going to fold around to Cheng in the big blind. He's going to lay it down as well. All right, lots of raise and take right now. Seems like the way to go. All right, Donnie, play.pgt.com. What do we have going on here?
Play.pgt.com, you can play free pick'em games surrounding the events going on here at the World Series of Poker. We are giving away $5,000 in real prizes.
That's a lot.
Play.pgt.com, completely free to play. We have contests running every single day, so be sure to get in there, check it out. Give yourself a chance to win.
I'm in there right now.
Let's go.
Oh, wow. This is about the main event.
Yeah, there you go.
Will the 2023 WSP main event be the biggest ever? I'm going to go yes. Next question. How many entrants will there be in the main event? Oh, we got to give a range here. By the way, I'm on play.pgt.com playing these free giveaways. You guys can play along if you want. I'm just going to run through these.
It's a great way to sweat the action.
Oh, yeah.
See if your picks come through and, you know, see if you can win some money.
Okay, let's see what you guys say in the chat. Main event entries, I'm going to go between 9,000 and 9,500. And then the next question is, what will the first prize be in the main event this year? I mean, I like it a bit more conservative to spread the wealth, but knowing the WSOP, they will probably want to also break the record for the biggest first prize.
Really? You think it'll be way up there?
So I'm going to go over 12 million.
Dang.
Over 12.
Raise.
Zhu, Queen 9 off, going to come in for a raise while I'm trying to finish this little questionnaire here.
5,500,000.
Holding.
Re-raise all in.
Cheng, pocket threes, moves all in over the top. It's only 12.6 million. Action folds back around to Zhu. He is not happy about it, but he does make the call. Let's see it. We're flipping. Queen 9 versus threes. Once again, it's a fair fight. Natural 9 again, Donnie. It's
That's
time.
right, natural 9.
Time for some baccarat action.
9, 9, 9.
All right, let's see the flop here. Cheng's tournament life is on the line. He needs to fade a queen or a 9. Queen in the window. 9 right behind it. A king to go along with it. 2 bear on the flop for Zhu. Cheng down to just 2 outs. Let's see the turn card.
No.
It is the jack of spades. All of a sudden, we got some chop outs. It's not much, but it's there. Let's see the river card.
Nice.
It is the ace of hearts. Very nice indeed for Zhu, as Cheng is eliminated in 4th place. Christian Cheng collects $119,000 for his efforts, and the remaining 3 will guarantee themselves $157,000. We are 1 step closer to finding out who wins the gold bracelet and the first prize of $339,000. Jason Johnson still our chip leader.
Oh, yeah. We need a... Yeah. Yeah. 可惜了。
好，明天帮忙吃饭 ，OK？
OK。
来。OK。
All right, action underway, 3-handed. Kitcherelli with the 6-5 suited. That just has to be a shove.
Yeah, I mean, if you get called, probably all right. I mean, if he gets called here, he's going to be in great shape.
Dominating right now.
Not bad?
Yeah. Oh, yes. It was that bad. We can confirm. Very bad.
不看还行，一看就搞不动。
By the way, shout out to everyone watching right now, everyone in the chat, all our moderators, all our YouTube community members. Isn't it just fun to just watch some poker action on this Monday night? Or Tuesday for lunch, if you're in Australia. A little bit of a change of pace, different flavor from what we had last night on PokerGO.com. In case you missed that action, we posted some highlights from the 250K No Limit Hold'em on our YouTube channel. That clip is going massively viral. You don't want to miss that. The Martin Cabral experience. Zhu attacking the big blind here with ace-4 offsuit.
6,300,000.
Just raising up to 6.3 mil. Oh, what is this? 69 looking fine for Johnson. It's a little bit optimistic, Donnie.
Yeah, I mean, if I would play this hand, I would probably take the more aggressive line and raise or jam. I mean, just really put the pressure on Zhu. You have Ciccarelli sitting there with 7 big blinds. I don't think you really want to get involved with a stack that is relatively close to you and risk, you know, jeopardizing your position here as chip leader. 2 pair here for Zhu. Likely going to see a continue and then a fold, although Jay Johnson here is going to think it over for a little bit.
Beautiful flop for Zhu, who's been on a tear ever since the break ended.
哎，
8 million.
Bets 8 million.
8 million.
Not really sure what Johnson is contemplating here.
I mean, could you imagine if he gets a little crazy here?
Wow.
Okay, he's
I mean,
not going to get a little crazy. He's just going to do a little bit of posturing there and give it up.
At this rate, Zhu about to take over the chip lead.
Zhu has a final table finish already at this World Series of Poker. He finished at the final table of the $2,500 No Limit Hold'em freeze out. I think it was $34,000 for his score in that one. That was for a 9th place finish in that event.
Zhu once again picks up the goods and just slams a stack into the middle. Absolutely love to see it.
I mean, but this is what we kind of thought we might see from Jay Johnson earlier when he had the big chip lead. Now, not that Zhu has the chip lead because he doesn't, he's in 2nd place, but he certainly recognizes that he's fairly healthy in the situation in terms of chips, and he's just going to put maximum pressure on his opponent. So it's probably going to be tough here. I mean, Ciccarelli is going to need to pick up a hand. That's what he's going to be waiting for. But for Johnson, if Zhu's going to continue this aggression, Johnson's going to be in a tough spot because he's pretty handcuffed right now given Ciccarelli's stack.
Absolutely. And this is only going to get worse as Zhu picks up more chips. Right now, Zhu, the chip leader, at the table for the first time. Johnson going to raise with Queen-9 offsuit. Ciccarelli probably thinking to himself, how about these guys just get it all in together? and I'm just going to get into
Yeah.
second place.
6,200,000.
It'd be a bit like Joseph Chong and Jonathan Duhamel. Remember that? And John Racner was just chilling off to the side, and
There was a heads-up match going on.
yeah, Chong decided to get really crazy with, what was it, ace-7, I think?
Ace-7,
yeah. Against the 2 queens of Duhamel, and they get the money in, and next thing you know, John Racner's heads up and loving life.
Ten-7 suited for Ciccarelli. Feels like any hand of the suited variety good enough to go all in here on the button.
Yep, good spot here to put it in. You know, not the worst of it in terms of his holding.
13.
13?
Yep.
Johnson, yeah, he might want to look him up here, and he does, but he's going to see the bad news because it's dominated.
All right, makes the call with 8-7 offsuit in the big blind. It was for only 5 big blinds, but a double up right here is going to bring Ciccarelli quite a bit closer to getting back into the mix here. Every chip matters right now. 3-handed poker for a gold bracelet, as well as that massive first prize of $339,000. Donnie, the chat thinks this is a bad call.
I mean, you probably figure you're live a lot of times and you're connected, so it's not the worst of it.
Oh, wow. 8 on the flop. Then all of a sudden, the tables turn. Johnson takes the lead with 7-8. Ciccarelli now needing a 10 to survive. What a brutal run out for the man from Arizona. Looking for a 10 and a 10 only, or his night will be over. River card, please.
Good game, guys.
It is the deuce of clubs, and all of a sudden we are down to heads-up play between 2 relatively even stacks. John Ciccarelli out the door in third. He takes home $157,000. The remaining 2 players get at least $209,000. The winner will walk away with $339,000. The players are going to go on a short break before heads-up play gets underway. There is a whopping $130,000 on the line between first and second. Don't go anywhere. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. We'll be back in roughly 10 minutes for the conclusion of this World Series of Poker bracelet event. Top up your drinks. We'll see you soon.
"就说该来了呀，对呀。
All right, there it is. The gold bracelet is on the table, and the big money is on the line. My name is Rem Karinkama. Donnie Peters alongside me to bring you coverage of the $800 deep stack main event, final table, shootout, whatever you want to call this. All that matters right now is that they're playing for the gold bracelet and $339,000. All jokes aside, serious business. If you've invested $800 and you get to play for this kind of money, it must be a wonderful day, a wonderful week. It might even be a wonderful year altogether. $209,000 guaranteed for the remaining players. Like I said before the break, 130K pay jump on the line here. Absolutely mind-numbing money for this kind of entry fee. Of course, we all know last night in the super high roller, there was 5.3 million on the line. Well, that might as well also be the case right now for these two players. Zhu versus Johnson going for that little piece of hardware in the middle of the table. Let us know in the chat, who are you rooting for? Johnson with the chip lead. This can still go in every single direction.
Oh, yes. Any which way, it could happen.
King 6 versus Queen 9, Donnie. I would consider this like premium heads-up holdings. Nice flop for Zhu here. Top pair with a flush draw. What more can you wish for? By the way, chat, let us know, how many hands do you think heads-up play will last? Pretty interesting to think about the battle that we have right here. This is hand 61 of the final table. Let us know how many hands of heads-up play it will take to find out who wins this thing. Blinds go up every 30 minutes. Meanwhile, 29.5 million in the pot already as we go to the turn on hand number 1, Donnie, and then a queen of spades hits, giving Johnson a pair as well. This could get really big right away.
Oh, yes.
Johnson raised to 5.5 million before the flop. Zhu made the call. Johnson then bet out 8 million on the flop. Zhu called, and now Zhu is betting after Johnson checked. A little bit of everything for everyone. Wow. All in and a call out of nowhere. What is going on here? Hand number 1 of the heads-up battle. Johnson has 4 outs to end it. 4 outs to end it on hand number 1. I blinked twice, Donnie. I almost missed it.
Yeah, out of nowhere, Johnson with the check jam here steps right into it.
Zhu at risk, dominating. River card, 4 of diamonds, and there it is. All of a sudden, the tables are turned. Zhu is the one in the lead right now. This is a wild play.
Here I thought Johnson was just going to be check calling after turning that showdown value, second pair on the board. But he goes for it all. He goes to check jam. Zhu sitting right there, willing to give a little fair catch to that one. Top pair and a flush draw.
I mean,
gotta go with it.
Tanker J just unloading the clip, Donnie.
Oh, yes. Absolutely went for it there.
Gotta respect the shove.
Johnson down to 11 big blinds now.
Wow.
43,700,000.
What a massive pot on hand number 1. I was just asking how many hands of heads-up play will we see. The answer might be 2. Dealer just verifying the count here, as we're going to see a massive amount of chips transfer over to the other side of the table. The crowd seems to be stunned, Donnie.
All right, new level. 1.5 and 3. 1.5, 3, 3, please.
All right.
And then it gets worse for Jay Johnson because, as you guys heard it there, or might have heard it there, the dealer announces the level is up. Big blind is now 3 million. Jay Johnson about 11.5 big blinds in his stack, so certainly going to need to make something happen very, very fast.
I thought for sure we'd hit 2,000 likes on the video, but we might not have enough video to get there.
Not enough time.
Sorry?
Smash like right now if you want to help us get to 2,000 likes before this thing is done, because Zhu right now in a commanding position to win his first WSOP gold bracelet. Donnie, he must be feeling the nerves and the adrenaline of a moment like this.
I mean, he doesn't really look like it. He looks like he's kind of locked in. He's in the zone.
Zhu, Queen 5 suited. There we go. He is very methodical, doesn't waste any time, moves all in. Johnson, 7-4 offsuit. He's going to lay this one down. By the way, if you're just tuning in, for the end of this match, please know that tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, Donnie and I will be back for basically almost 12 hours of 50K Poker Players Championship coverage right here on our YouTube channel. The final table of that event, which will be on day 5, is going to be exclusively on PokerGo. All right, action on Johnson, King, Queen offsuit, only 8 big blinds. He's going to just make the call. Jack 4 for Zhu. He's going to gladly take a flop here. Deuce 5-5 on the flop. King on the turn. Johnson's got this one locked down.
4 million. All in.
Johnson moves all in. Nothing there for Zhu. He can pick his spots. Loses a couple million, but can afford to do so. Shout out to everyone who's been with us here all night for this coverage of the $800 deep stack. Six deuce offsuit. Probably one of the few hands you can just open fold.
Yes. He's going to see a flop, though.
Johnson checks with 10-3. Russell in the chat pointing out that Ivy and Helmuth are both in the hunt in the 50K PPC. Donnie, I'm just going to request it right now. If Helmuth makes day 3, I would love to start our stream with Phil Helmuth.
Let's go. Wow, quick fold there from Johnson. Hard to make a pair heads up. He folded a pair of 10s there. Would have liked to see a call out of him there. I mean, you got to figure any ace, most queens, the king jacks that have all gotten there, made straights, are all gonna move all in pre.
Ace king suited here for Johnson, exactly what he wanted, giving him a chance to potentially double up and get back in it if Zhu finds something playable. All in and a call. There it is. We're going to go for it again.
Looks like we have pocket sixes. Yep.
Sixes for Zhu. He is in the lead. Johnson with ace king suited is going to need some help. All right, let's see if this hand is going to close out this absolutely enormous tournament. Almost 4,000 players. Is Zhu going to be the last man standing? Here comes the flop. Jack 8-4. Wonderful flop for the man from China. Only has to fade an ace or a king.
6.
Backdoor diamonds, backdoor straight, still a possibility right now. Let's see what the turn brings.
6.
It is the 5 of clubs on the turn. that helps Zhu as well, as Johnson now down to a non-club ace or king. Is the river going to seal it? Ah! The river does seal it, and Zhu wins his first World Series of Poker gold bracelet and gets a hug from his friends, family on the rail.
Yeah.
$339,000 is what he takes home. And Jason Johnson collects $209,000 for his runner-up finish. What an entertaining final table did we get to see here. Awesome stuff, and look how happy Zhu is. Brilliant stuff. Thank you all so much for watching. It is very much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow with the 50K Poker Players Championship starting at 3 p.m. Pacific time, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do all-day coverage of that event. Don't miss out on it. For now, my name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.